may I say to you that I still believe that mankind will rise up to the occasion in spite of the darkness of the hour, in spite of the difficulties of the moment, in spite of these days of emotional tension when the problems of the world are gigantic in extent and chaotic in detail. I still have faith in the future because I am still convinced that it is love that makes the world go round.
Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere.
Martin Luther King was shot and killed tonight.
Martin Luther King was shot and killed
He dedicated his life
tonight.
to love.
He dedicated his life to love.
Between fellow human
to
beings.
Justice between
he died
fellow human beings.
in the cause of that effort.
He died in the cause of that effort.
He died in the cause of that effort.
We shall overcome. We shall overcome.
What do we want?
Freedom.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Freedom.
When do we want it?
Now.
Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe.
What do we want?
Freedom.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Freedom.
When do we want it?
Now.
Blessings. I'm Cleo Parker Robinson, founder and artistic director of Cleo Parker Robinson Dance, celebrating over 50 years. Today, I'd like to share with you two of my works. One, Check Cashing Day, and the other, Standing on the Shoulders. I created Check Cashing Day in 2019 at the request of one of my alums, Gary Abbott, who was a professor at UMKC. It was extraordinary. I was able to bring two of my dancers, one an alum, Chris Page Sanders, and of course my rehearsal director and dancer, Chloe Grant Abel, whose father really was one of the composers of the work. I had a ball working with these young people, and I challenged them in terms of where were they in the movement, in the civil rights movement, because I realized that young people are at the forefront of change. And I wanted to challenge them mentally, spiritually, and physically. And I had a wonderful time. Also celebrating Dr. King, as we hear his voice come through, we feel the power of that time, not only from Dr. King, but those unsung heroes and those young people who were right there at the edge of change. And I was really thrilled to be able to pull the magic and the power and the celebrating one another. Celebrating one another's differences and what makes us human. And so then I set it on my own second company, and you will see my second company in concert of Check Cashing Day.
And 10 years ago, Martin shared his dream for justice to roll down like a mighty stream. A dream rooted in reality and the solemn prospect that he had come to the nation's capital to cash a 100-year-old check. Like so many folks in the hood with bills stacked high enough for a bungee cord jump, anxiously looking forward to the first of the month, with 300,000 black voices demanding their pay, August 28th, 1963 was Check Cashing Day.
I have a dream.
And while America had sufficient currency in her bloated account, and black folks were only requesting a fair amount. Like frogs playing basketball on a rubber court, the check still bounced. The first of the month has passed 600 times since Martin uttered those exalted lines. I have a dream.
I have a dream.
Yes, the new Jim Crow has enormous wings and he loves to fly off with colored dreams. But back in '63, Martin also penned these lines. Justice too long delayed is justice denied. And don't label me an angry black man, because believe you me, I understand. When we follow the vision of Dr. King, white folks are full partners in the dream. But in our nation's attempt to fix the problem of race, you ain't never gonna fix what you can't face. So listen up, Uncle Sam. Here we stand with this 150-year-old check in our tired black hands. There's nothing else to talk about, nothing left to say, but cough it up, America. It's check cashing day.
Now is the time to make real the promises of democracy. Now is the time to rise from the dark and desolate valley of segregation to the sunlit path of racial justice. Now is the time. We can never be satisfied as long as our children are stripped of their selfhood and robbed of their dignity by signs stating for whites only. We cannot be satisfied as long as a Negro in Mississippi cannot vote and a Negro in New York believes he has nothing for which to vote. No, we are not satisfied, and we will not be satisfied until justice rolls down like waters and righteousness like a mighty stream.
Everything must change. Nothing stays the same. Everyone will change. Nothing and no one goes unchanged. The young become the old. And mysteries do unfold. 'Cause that's the way of time. Everyone will change. There are not many things in life you can be sure. Except rain comes from the clouds and the sun lights up the sky, and hummingbirds do fly. Rain comes from the clouds and the sun lights up the sky, and sometimes music makes me cry. winter turns to spring. A wounded heart will mend. But never, never much too soon. Everything and everyone will change. There are not many things in life you can be sure. Except rain comes from the clouds and the sun lights up the sky, and hummingbirds do fly. Rain comes from the clouds and the sun lights up the sky, and hummingbirds do fly.
Have a dream. Yes. It is a dream deeply rooted in the American dream. I have a dream. I have a dream.
In his opening address to the 1964 Berlin Jazz Festival, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. made the following statement. Much of the power of our freedom movement in the United States has come from this music. It has strengthened us with its sweet rhythms when courage began to fail. It has calmed us with its rich harmonies when spirits were down. And now, jazz is exported to the world. For in the particular struggle of the Negro in America, there is something akin to the universal struggle of modern man. Everybody has the blues. Everybody longs for meaning. Everybody needs to love and be loved. Everybody needs to clap hands and be happy. Everybody longs for faith. In music, especially this broad category called jazz, there is a stepping stone towards all of these.
Dream that one day on the red hills of Georgia, the sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owners will be able to sit down together at the table of brotherhood. I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today. I have a dream that one day, down in Alabama, with its vicious racists, with its governor having his lips dripping with the words of interposition and nullification, one day right there in Alabama, little black boys and black girls will be able to join hands with little white boys and white girls as sisters and brothers. I have a dream today. Let freedom ring, and if America is to be a great nation, this must become true. So let freedom ring. From the prodigious hilltops of New Hampshire, let freedom reign. From the mighty mountains of New York, let freedom reign from the heightening Alleghenies of Pennsylvania. Let freedom ring from the snow-capped Rockies of Colorado. Let freedom ring from the curvaceous slopes of California. But not only that, let freedom ring from Stone Mountain of Georgia. Let freedom ring from Lookout Mountain of Tennessee. Let freedom ring from every hill and molehill of Mississippi, from every mountainside. Let freedom ring.
I was born in a briar patch behind the old woodshed, clutched a Klansman by the throat till he fell over dead. Marched the streets of Birmingham when I was just 2 years old. Got thirsty and took a drink from a spring fire hose. They sicked the attack dogs on me and they barked for a stretch, till I quickly stared them down and told them mutts to go fetch. A mob tried to lynch me, tried to murder my hope. Let me just say I got away with the noose hanging from my throat. So now my baby sister has a new jump rope. They burned a cross on my line trying to give me the blues, but I pulled out some ribs and some wings and had a barbecue. I asked Bobby Watson to take all the screams and the cries of black folks done wrong and mixed them with the jazz groove, melodic, percussive, and strong. So that's just what he did. And now this is my song.
We'll be able to join hands and sing in the words of the old Negro spiritual. Free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, we are free at last.
Maybe I could understand some of these illegal injunctions. Maybe I could understand the denial of certain basic First Amendment privileges because they haven't committed themselves.
The children get to learn various dance forms, which makes them just well-rounded. They're going to be very well-cultured and probably very well-spoken when they get older.
My favorite part of the dancing is arts and crafts.
We are a multicultural institution, and that's at the forefront of everything we do, everything that we create. The fantastic part to be a part of an organization like this, also being from Denver, It's exciting because this has been the history, the legacy of the organization from day one.
As a long-term supporter of the arts, PNC Bank couldn't be more thrilled to have Cleo Parker Robinson Dance as a community partner. As we continue our partnership, we learn more and more about the shared interests that both Cleo Parker Robinson Dance and PNC Bank have, that aligning with early childhood education and the arts.
All different forms of hip-hop. The more they know that there's so much dance and history out there for them to learn, the more they're gonna keep coming back. And that's the one thing that I know for sure has definitely grown. We've definitely grown in numbers as well.
It's really fun, and I think it's a great place to dance.
We range all the way from 3.
Since I was 3 years old, I've been a part of this.
Regular program stops at like 12.
On a weekly basis, we are in schools, we're in recreation centers, we're partnering with other agencies and delivering programs that are serving a broad demographic of young people.
I want to come back every summer.
In our classes, we want your students, we want you to engage with us, right? To take part in this, to learn more. We want to learn more from you. We need your help tonight. That's why we're here. We want to continue to represent you and your needs, and we need your support to do that.
I am Paulina, and I am an apprentice in STREAM.
STREAM is a technical theater internship program based on STEM skills.
Participo en STREAM por las oportunidades que me brindan. Science, technology, robotics, engineering, arts, and media. My favorite stream is technical lighting. People who are passionate about the arts or media should STREAM. Thank you, STREAM.
So I understood that in Standing on the Shoulders, that even though we are in some very challenging times that we've never seen before, we understood that we were standing on the shoulders of those who've come before us. And then I looked around as I began to look for a composer and found Omar Thomas, a young composer who was speaking just to my spirit. Come Sunday. It had 2 sections, and those 2 sections spoke differently to me. Testimony spoke to me about being a witness, speaking what we're going through, and in all of our honesty and authenticity. And some of it was very painful. And I understood that we've been in pain before, but we've come through it. And so the beauty of choreographing was to try to find that for myself before I could bring it to the dancers. And so having the support of my dancers, who are my muses, especially Chloe Grant Abel, who worked with me, that kind of helped me process. Chris Page Sanders the same way. And Winifred Harris, our Associate Artistic Director, they helped shape where all of this was going, because it was plenty. And when you have a short work and you have all of this that's coming from George Floyd to all of these extraordinary moments that we're witnessing together, how do we process that? And I realized it was very healing for me to understand I was standing on the shoulders of all of my mentors, starting from my own teachers. And I had to say their names: Rita Berger, Alvin Ailey, Arthur Mitchell, Donald McHale. But those who are still with us, I spoke about Carmen de Lavalade, some of these extraordinary artists that we work with. But of course, my spirit went to Catherine Dunham and Dr. Pearl Primus. That just kept coming, flooding me. And so I went, oh, I have material. And the material is the gifts that they've given us. So I asked the audience, and I ask you, whose shoulders are you standing on? poetry and movement. I want us to explore our potential. And I think about how fortunate I was to have a mother and father who were not only artists, but also they were very engaged with how do we bring people together through the arts. And I think that we were inspired by Dr. King and so many other civil rights leaders and people who were concerned about making this America everything it could be. And so we're still an experiment. We're still an experiment. But I think that every time we think about the potential of what we can do, we think about that moment of engagement. So we do it with the word. And we use words all the time. And we say peace, and we say love, and we say respect for everyone, everyone. And I think if you try it with me, you can dance it. You can say peace, love, respect for everybody. Peace, love, respect for everybody. Peace, and then see it as you look in someone's eyes, and you know that we are connected and can do even more to make this the greatest country and the greatest world to live now and for our future, for our next generation of artists and young people. And I say, Ashe, Ashe.
What we need in the United States is not division. What we need in the United States is not hatred. What we need in the United States is not violence and lawlessness, but is love and wisdom and compassion toward one another. Love and wisdom and compassion toward one another. Love and wisdom and compassion toward one another. Love and wisdom and compassion toward one another.